Hey folks, Fromark here once again with a playthrough of Sonic Drift, originally released in 1995 for the Sega Game Gear, and of course being the sequel to Sonic Drift 1. Now, interestingly enough, Sonic Drift 1 never made it out of Japan, but Sonic Drift 2 did. But yeah, you get three different options here. There's three different championships you can compete for: the purple, the white, and the blue. I'm going to start off with the purple. And this time around, you get many different characters to choose from, like Sonic, Knuckles, Fang, Metal Sonic, Eggman, and Amy, and Tails. But since this is Sonic Drift 2, I'm going to play as Sonic. And the computer will randomly select my competition. Now, each championship is made up of 6 tracks, I believe. And I do like that this one is Emerald Hill. There's a couple of courses in this game that are based off of Sonic 2 tracks. I know there's Emerald Hill, Hilltop, Death Egg, Casino Night. There's a track called Mystic Cave 2 in one of these later tracks that I encounter, but it's not really anything like Mystic Cave Zone, which is kind of a shame. But this is still a pretty neat, pretty fun game. It definitely gives you a lot more to choose from. There's a lot more to do here, and it is certainly a better game than Sonic Drift 1. Not knocking the first Sonic Drift by any means. I enjoy that game too. But yeah, with Sonic Drift 2, I didn't play that one until a little bit later on. My first experiences with that one was when I picked up the Sonic Gems collection for the GameCube. This would have been early 2009, and it had Sonic Drift 2 on it, and a few of the other lesser Game Gear titles, although this isn't really a lesser title, but it did have a few random things on it. I like the Sonic Gems collection. I feel like it was a little bit more bare bones than it could have been. Like, obviously, it was missing Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic Arcade, the Sega Sonic Arcade. I've always wanted to try that one, which I think a lot of those arcade systems can be emulated pretty well nowadays, so I'll have to look into that. But yeah, each track consists of a 3-lap shootout, and Tails won this race. Good for him. Good for him. And it's 1 through 4 competing for the championship here. Now here's the first Hilltop course. A Hilltop zone I always thought was pretty neat, even if for the most part it is just a recolored Emerald Hill. It's got good music though. Man, I really like that bass line, that do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. But yeah, anyway, this one has these little hills in the road that you kinda can jump over. I think some of them will actually crumble and just stop you for a second. I did do a little bit of warming up for this one before I sat down to record today. Ooh. So I'm hoping that'll kinda help me out here a little bit. Maybe I can win a couple of these races. It's actually kind of fun doing racing games over here on the channel because it's kind of my bread and butter. And it's just easy. It's easy content to record sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. It really just depends on if you have enough to talk about to carry a commentary, I guess. Or if the racing action is interesting enough. Interestingly interesting. I gotta deal with Knuckles. Old Nux. Speaking of Knuckles, there was that TV series. There was a few episodes. I didn't care much for it. I tried to watch it, and it just wasn't my kind of thing, really. I am looking forward to that Sonic 3 movie at the time of this recording. Not sure when this episode's gonna be up yet. But here we got Dark Valley 1. And this is one of those tracks that kind of reminds me of the, I believe it's the Ghost House level, or track from Mario Kart, the original Super Mario Kart. Kind of reminds me of this a little bit. It's even got really tricky turns and holes in the track to jump over. And some of these courses, I like how in Sonic Drift 2, some of these aren't even like really tracks, they're just long courses that you gotta get to the finish. Which kind of breaks up the monotony of it all. I don't recall if Sonic Drift 1 had this going on, because it's been a little while since I played Sonic Drift 1. Last time I touched that game was when I was doing the playthrough, and that's been quite some time now. I gotta deal with Tails. Try to zoom on by. Hopefully I can win this time. I feel pretty good about my odds with a couple of these tracks. I did alright in the test playthrough. But yeah, there's several, kind of like in Mario Kart, there are several items you can pick up in this game. You got your rings, which depending on your character's ability will let you do a special move when you press up. For Sonic, that's a speed boost. For Tails, it's a jump. I'm not sure about the others. But hey, I finally won one. Won one. Win! I got the win. Winner. I did it. Alright, so yeah, that's the first win on the season. And that'll put me up to the lead in the points. Alright, cool. And here we got Casino Night. Now, I still stand by what I said about with the beta version of Casino Night Zone. I feel like the pink and the blue and all those colors that they would have had in the original layout, it looked neat. I like the all gold city-like thing they went for, but I feel like the original Casino Night looked a lot more vibrant, a lot more interesting, and it's certainly a drastic shift from what they were going for initially. But, of course, there's a lot of neat things that got left out of Sonic 2. I feel like, there's been plenty of videos and plenty of essays and plenty of things out there dedicated to all the lost content from Sonic 2. And it's amazing how even in 2024, there's still stuff coming out from the game's development history and leftovers that didn't quite make it into the game. Like, for example, that Cyber City stuff, all the level layouts and sketches for that were dropped earlier this year. And Sonic 2 I've always found to be a really fascinating game. I always really liked Sonic 2. It's high on my list. It's not my favorite Sonic game, though. But it's definitely up there. I think, though, the one thing that makes it lose points for me is that there's just so much cut content that I know about that didn't make the final product, and it's just like, oh man, this could have been a better game if the time constraints weren't there and the Japanese and North American teams worked a little bit better together when they were at the Sega Technical Institute. Now, I didn't quite make it to the win. It looks like Tails got that one, and he's having a pretty good season. But hey, at least I got a second. We're getting pretty close to the end of this here championship battle, with I think 2 races left. And Tails and me are now tied, but he has overtaken me in the points, but it is tied 9 points. I'm guessing he's got the tiebreaker because he's got more wins. I think this one was called Desert Hill. I wasn't quite paying attention. Speaking of Sonic 2 and speaking of deserts, that's another one of those things that I kind of wish made the final product, was that Desert Hill or whatever it was called. Sand Shower, yeah, it was finally revealed to be Sand Shower after all these years, and a lot of people mistakenly called it Dust Hill, but Dust Hill was the original name for Mystic Cave Zone. I guess they probably figured, there's probably too many hill zones already in this game. Hilltop Zone, Emerald Hill Zone. But I do like that this is one of the more straightforward tracks here, and the championship battle. But yeah, there's a few items I forgot to mention. There's the speed boost ones, which are the red monitors. There's the blue monitors, which are invincibilities. The yellow ones are the springs, which give you the jump. And I think the gray monitors give you like a spike ball weapon to just throw out onto the track. Ooh, that's not good. Hey, did I? Yeah, I did. I got the dub. I did it. I wasn't sure if that last little hiccup there was going to be enough to lose it. And with that, I am back in the points lead with, I believe, one race to go. Yes, Iron Ruin. Big iron on his hip. But I'm here to do some business with a big iron on my hip. Anyway. Whoa, let's see here. This one threw me off a little bit earlier. Running into the Eggman there. Oh! You got those posts on the edge of the turns there. If you go off track and hit those, it'll spin you around, and that's never any fun. Not quite sure what happened there. I guess I just got bulldozed. Oh. I have gotten significantly better at this game, though, since I figured out how the drift works in Sonic Drift. I mean, you just want to kind of break into the turns a little bit like a normal racing game. I guess it's kind of a normal racing game in some regards. After playing through it plenty, I think I do like it a lot more than the first Sonic Drift, just because there's a lot more to do here. But I will get into the other tracks and the other championships shortly. Just gotta try to make it around a few more corners here and maybe still have a chance at the championship. Ooh, aw, crap. No. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Well, I ended up with the second from that. It looks like Knuckles got me. But I think he's far enough back in the points that, yeah, that shouldn't matter. Alright, cool. Yes, I have won the championship this first time out for the purple mode. So I guess with that, folks, I will see you in part 2 for the next one. I believe that's the White Grand Prix. See you then, folks.